Nice and loud. Everybody holler and scream as loud as you can. Hadi do lehte hoji da suha. Natte ne ahadi yele jigla wista. Ne na hayada lage chi natte on chi kwaige. Kale godjole ogo. Natte ne ahadi yele. Da ne gwiga ikan ne tunu wa awane. Ne wahanilo. Ne ni se ne jigla wista. Ne hahtano unzadu. Da ne gwiga ikan hona ne tunu wa awane. Ne tone, ne ona ne dijaluslo na gwa, ne wagagweni, ne wahachi kwaige, ne jigla wista. Da ne gwiga ikan lu negas, toni awang, ne tone, kwe, wahnisla denyo, kwe, holi wagayu. So, today, as we give explanation of how this began, in regards to the lacrosse that we play today. And this goes way back during the time of creation, they say. And it was at that time when they say that the Creator and his brother, it came to a point where one had asked who is going to be the one who's going to have ownership, or who's going to rule the whole earth. And so it was then. The Creator said, well, it's not supposed to be that way, that we're not supposed to have anyone who would be above one another. That's not how it was intended to be. Everything that is here is intended to be for everyone's welfare, everyone's well-being that is here. And so his brother, Sawiskla, he continued to want to be the one who wanted to be the leader of all of the places, all of the things here on this earth. He wanted to have control. And so he designated, let's play a game to decide who's going to be the one who's going to have control over all of the things here on this earth. And so the Creator, he agreed. He says, okay, what kind of game do you want to play? And so at that time then, that's when Sawiska, he said, let's play lacrosse. They were all adu. Let's play that. And we will start early in the morning when the new day begins. This is the time that we will start this game. And so it was then. It was agreed upon that they would start this game on the new day. And so when they started to play this game of lacrosse, they were all adu. And so they started right from the ground, and they began to run back and forth between one another. But at the end of the day, they say they were tied. There was no winner. And so this is when they say this is a part of what will become a game for us here on this earth as well. And so it was then, they devised something else to see who would be the controller of the earth. And so that was another game that they began to play later on. So moving fast forward, now we're on the earth. All of the things that was placed here on the earth. And there was one day that the animals challenged the birds to the game. The animals had devised up a way to play a game. And they said, let's play. They were all ladu. Let us all play. The animals against the birds. And so all of the various kinds of birds, they all flocked in. They all came in. And all of the different kinds of animals, they all came in as well. And so as they were ready to play, just then, the bat, he come flying by. And the bat, he says, what about me? Whose team am I going to be on? And so they all looked at the bat, and the birds began to wonder, well, maybe he can play for us because he can fly. And then the animal says, no, he'll play for us because he's one of us. He's a mammal just like us. And so that went back and forth. It's kind of like this argument went back and forth. And then finally, he said, the bat said, how about if I play, but you will use me as to be the ball. I will be the ball, and I can play for both sides. That's how the ball came about. So when you see the ball, Jiglatwistal, and you see how the wings are on the bat, it's really thin like. That's how the ball was made at that time, the first time. And so it became that symbol, is that the bat would play for both sides. And that's how the ball came into being when they played the game. So I thought I wanted to share that with you all here today, and hope you all have a good game. Go.
So, as we explained how old this game is, and like in Bob's story, and it's just not a story that Bob had told. That's a belief that we have of where this game came from, and like he said, it came from our Creator. And so in the time of our history, the main tool that we use is the stick. The sticks nowadays, we like to call them Tupperware sticks because they're made out of plastic. But these are the kind of sticks. Even throughout time, these sticks have changed. Okay, so these are more or less kind of contemporary, but still old. Okay, old as the game. Made out of hickory, one of the hardest woods that you can use for a stick. I know in baseball, that's what they use, is hickory for their bats. The other kind of tree they use for these are ash. You can use ash, white ash for these, and then to carve them up. And then as our time has changed, it's switched over to the sticks that we use today. Okay, and even throughout our time in history, these sticks have changed also. Okay, and they changed right along with the rules, as some of our players here know that, you know, there's rules to stringing the head of your stick. Okay, so everybody has a stick like this. Everybody, well, not everybody, but most of you guys all have a stick like this that we use today. Okay, so now the way we operate or use this stick, okay, whether if you're right-handed or left-handed, who's left-handed here? We have two people that are left-handed, so everybody's right-handed, right? Okay, so parts of the stick. What do you think this part of the stick is called? The butt. This is the butt end of the stick, okay? Then of course we have the shaft, and then we have the head, okay? So when we're holding the stick, if you're right-handed, put your right hand right below the head of the stick. Okay, so the stick is, or the head of the opening of the head is facing upward. Okay, and then with your left hand, or if you're right, put it down by the butt end of the stick. Okay, so now this is a proper way to hold your stick. Okay, so whether if you're left-handed or right-handed, or you use both hands, okay, that's the way you hold your stick, just like this. Okay, so again, with the face facing up, okay, and there's a reason why we do that. So when we have a ball, we want that ball to stay right in the pocket of the lacrosse head. Okay, now when we control the ball, or when we're running with it, what's going to happen is that the ball's going to stay in the head by cradling. Okay, so whose mom has cradled or whose dad has cradled them while they were babies? And what I mean by is cradling like this. Okay? So I think us as babies, we were all cradled at one time as babies. Okay? Now, think of that ball as your baby. Okay? Now, you're not going to drop your baby, are you? You never drop your baby. Maybe. I know I always drop a couple times. No, just kidding. So when we're holding our baby, we're holding that baby securely. Okay? Now, this is the same thing. This is our baby. Here's our cradle. Okay? So now, when we're holding our stick, we're holding it nice and strong. The bottom hand right here, that's down by the butt end of the stick, you kind of hold that kind of loose. So you don't hold it so tight, but kind of loose. So now, you keep your elbow in to your side, and you're using your wrist. And who has lifted weights before? Anybody? So when you do a curl, like on a curling curl bar, you go like this, right? So it's that same motion. You're keeping your elbows into your side, and you're curling up like that. It's the same thing. But now you're only doing it with one hand. Keep this one nice and loose. You're bringing it up, bringing it down. Up and down. And while you're doing that, you're like making a muscle like that. Okay? Going up and going down. So now what that does is you're cradling that ball. Okay? That ball is, or that baby is inside your arms, safe and sound. Okay? So the reason why we do this is that so we don't lose the ball. Okay? Now, there's going to be times when you're playing in the game, your opponent's going to be trying to hit your stick. Okay? By just doing this action of cradling is going to help you keep that ball inside the head of your stick. Okay? Are you well, Bob? All right. So, little review. What is this part called? The head. What part is this called? Your butt. Right? And what is this right here? What's this part? The shaft. Good. Okay. So, in our head, we also have a face. This is your face right here. Okay. And in the men's or the boys' game, you're allowed to have a pocket in your stick. Okay? And there's different rules for that pocket. Okay? But we won't go over those. That's just later on when you get to playing competitively. So, anyways, that's how you hold your stick, and that's how you take care of your stick. Now, one thing culturally with this stick, especially if you ever are gifted with a wooden lacrosse stick like Royce has there, okay, now that stick right there and those sticks that are leaned up against that tree right there, now those types of sticks, culturally, we take care of those sticks. We don't throw them. Okay? We don't keep them on the ground. We always keep them with us. Okay? We always have them with us. We take care of them. If we see the strings getting a little used up and worn, then we got to restring it. Okay, we got to take care of it. Now, one thing is when we were all born, long time ago, when you were born as a baby boy, that was your first gift, was a stick. Lacrosse stick. Any boy that was born, that was their first gift. Okay? Now, all through life, that stick, they hold on to that stick throughout their whole life. They play with it. Even when they become an old man, they still play. Sometimes the sticks break. They get one to replace it, but they always have that stick. Now, even in death, when that person dies, when that old man dies, they say that's the only thing that goes with him is his lacrosse stick. So when he passes by or passes onto the Creator's world, they say that stick is buried with him. Because when he goes to the Creator's land and when he gets there, they say that they have a game for him on his arrival. And so they celebrate and welcome that spirit back to the Creator's land with the lacrosse game. Okay, so that's always something they always tell us to look forward to as a man. When we leave this world on and go to the Creator's land, that when we go there, there's a game that's going to be played for us on our arrival. And so that's just something to make you feel good and kind of look forward to with this game. And so that's how and why it's so important for those traditional sticks, the wooden lacrosse sticks. Okay, so if you ever have a chance to play with a wooden lacrosse stick, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different feel than these, like I said, Tupperware sticks. Okay, if you can handle a lacrosse stick that's a traditional lacrosse stick, if you can play with that and be good at it, these sticks become, you can do anything with those sticks. Okay, so all right, so if you're right-handed, stick up here, right? Or your hand's right up by the head. Your left hand down by the butt end of the stick, right? Okay. Vice versa, if you're left-handed. Okay. All right, good. So that's the basics. That's how you take care of your stick. But even nowadays, with our Tupperware sticks, you take care of those too. They have the same significance as those traditional sticks. So if you don't have a traditional stick, this is the next best thing. Okay? So we'll start out with keep your ball right in front of you, okay? We'll start out with position. Okay? Remember, your right hand, if your right hand right by the head, right? Your other hand's down by the butt end of the stick. Okay. Now, one of your butts, you got a stick butt and you got your own butt, right? Okay. So now, when you're scooping the ball, you want to get your butt down as far as you can. Not so much of the stick butt, but your butt, okay? So when you're coming down for a scoop, you want to get your butt down and then come right through with the stick, okay? Just like that, okay? So everybody try that. Bring it up. Get your butt down. Yeah. Okay, ball's down again. Try it again. Hey, get position, get your butt down, scoop right through it. Good. Now, throw your balls up this way. Throw them up this way. Okay? Now what I want everybody to do is run. And run towards your ball and scoop through it. Okay? Scoop through it. Everybody ready? Uska, Dagan, As, go. Good job. Everybody's pros already. All right, throw your ball over there again. Throw your ball out. Okay, everybody, Wooska, digging, Haas, go. There you go. Good. All right, one more time. Throw it out there. Okay. I want you guys to go as fast as you can. Okay? Wooska, digging, Haas, go. Holy man. Yeah?
You take the lead on that.
Remember we talked about hand position on our sticks, right? Everybody get their hands up there, right? Okay, now when we are ready to pass the ball to somebody, now our hand position is going to change just a little bit. Okay? So now what I want you guys to do is take your top hand and move it down to about halfway down the stick. Okay? And then keep your other hand still on the butt end of the stick. Now, what I want you guys to do is when you're ready to throw, I want you to keep your top hand, I want that elbow at like a 90 degree. So you're out here like this. Okay? So it kind of looks like this. All right? So, yeah, you want to keep it, so you don't want your elbow in this time, you want it up. Okay, so it's like that. All right, and then you keep the head of the stick just right behind your head. And it's almost like when you're throwing a baseball or any kind of ball, you want to take that step and you throw it. Okay, same thing, but you're only doing it with a stick. Now, when you get in that position, you're like this. And then you take your step and you push with your top hand and you pull with the bottom. So it's going to look something like this, okay? Just like that. Okay? All right. So does everybody get that? Okay. So now when you're throwing to your partner, you want to keep a target up. Okay, now your head, you want to imagine where you want to catch the ball. If you want to catch the ball with your right hand or with your left hand. If your right hand, this is about where you want to keep their stick, right here on the right side of your head. So imagine there's a box right next to your head sitting on your shoulder. That's what you got to aim for. Okay, and that's where you want to catch. Okay, so again, see that? I didn't even have to move my stick. It's right there. All right. Now the catching part. Dana's going to demonstrate the catching part of this this next part next to the throwing. And it's the same thing, guys, to keep your head of your stick right next to the head, your head. Okay, so this is where you want to give that target, your partner, a target. Okay, so now when you're catching the ball, so I'm going to describe it here. You kind of want to give your lacrosse stick a little give when you catch it. Okay, so it's almost like cradling. Okay, so you just don't want to go like this, otherwise it comes out of your pocket. All right, you want to give a little bit to your head, so when you catch it, you're supposed to catch it. And so a lot of times what we see is when we throw it and when we're catching it, we get people to go like this. They kind of grab at it. Okay, you really don't want to grab at it. You just want to, as soon as you feel the ball hit the pocket, you just want to bring it back. So catch and you bring it back. Okay. Ooh, this stick isn't good for scooping. All right, so here's that demonstration of both the throwing and catching. Okay, is everybody ready? Grab a partner.
Use tennis balls.
Yeah, use the.
Tennis balls.
Unless you're everybody sticks up in the air.
Who's defending what? Who's defending which goal?
Okay.
Well, I think that team is on that side.
Paul.
We're going that way?
Yeah. Dana's team is going this way. Paul's team is going that way.
Paul's team that way. That big tree right
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Food in the way. Everybody ready? Get in.
All right.
That's a team game, right, Coach?
That's a team game. You got to have at least 4 passes before you shoot. All right.
Ready?
Okay. Nice and loud. Everybody holler and scream as loud as you can. Oh. 4 passes. You got 2 passes down so far. Oh. There is 1. There is 2.